I always feel like there's a song lurking around every moment. Sometimes it flies closer and you can grab it and put it down on paper in a matter of minutes. Other times you really have to dig, but I don't like forcing songs too much. I feel like hard times are easy to write about, but I've seen so many amazing people rise above those hard times and get back on track. So I like writing on that type of inspiration, like on In My Soul. I never know what it's going to be though, what sparks the next song.
Always a victim, always wanting them to feel sorry for me. But I keep forgetting who I am supposed to be.
I started playing music when I was 15. My dad and my uncles had a bluegrass band with their friends that my cousin and I revived when we were teenagers. I replaced my dad on guitar and learned all about flat picking. We played in Northern Ontario when I was in high school and did festivals on summer breaks. You could say I cut my teeth on stage. Playing live is still my favorite way to play.
Putting me together.
When I finished school in 2006, I moved to Windsor and started writing songs so I'd have something to talk about or sing about at open mics around town. We started promoting the solo project because the band was always changing depending on the musicians that were available for the show and the kind of night it was. Every musician brings a different aspect to the music, so I love playing with new people on the scene and seasoned pros that make special guest appearances on our live shows. My sound now is a blend of acoustic, blues, rock, and a bit of bluegrass jazz. I like to consider myself a songwriter first and foremost, so depending if I'm playing acoustic or electric, the feel can change. My music tends to take on different shapes, song by song, probably because of the different places I've been and the different genres of bands I've been able to play guitar for around Canada. The first time I went to Detroit to play music, we ended up at this neighborhood bar called Bert's. It was an exclusive jam happening with some of the best players I've ever seen live. They invited me up to sing a few songs and to play a few standards with them. While I was singing one of my own, an older man came up and started playing trumpet for the song. I was too young to know right away who he was, but he turned out to be Marcus Belgrave, who played trumpet for the Ray Charles Band. It was an honor and a privilege to play music with him and with musicians of his caliber. It was very humbling. I realized that the greats only need one note and they can have the audience in the palm of their hand. And I remember understanding that night that it's not about the number of notes you can play, it's sometimes about the ones you leave out. I'll never forget my first tour out to Western Canada in the fall of 2009. It took me 7 months to get to the Pacific and back from Ontario. I didn't book any gigs in advance because I was doing what we were calling the Good Faith Tour and documentary that my team and I put together. I'd set out rules that I wasn't allowed to ask for money for my performances on that tour. I could only ask them to give me what it was worth to them in a barter agreement. So like a hotel room, a meal, an invitation to spend a few days in town at their house with their family. I noticed that everywhere I went, people were more than generous after the show. The whole experience felt surreal because I had the time to really appreciate everything, and I'd never really experienced Canada until then, so playing music everywhere I went felt like the perfect way to see it. I love being a songwriter and a musician because you can speak to anyone and it doesn't matter where you're from. It's a universal language. So everyone can hear it or feel it. It can be timeless or it can be a moment in time. It can make you relive those moments as soon as you hear that song again.